Great day to everyone. Coach Nino here. Again, this is an exciting muscle gain series. We are on our muscle gain series number 10. Can you imagine that? And tonight will be an exciting. Kumuha tayo ng quick survey. We asked from the community and we realized that stress is a major thing. So we'll discuss more about that. We'll discuss about the life hacks and the reality of stress. Again, Coach Linin Hu, empowering you to build muscle and lose fat without compromising your health. I'll show this quick ad, and after this, usap tayo. See you in a few.
Three, two, one.
Ayun na po. Great evening din sa inyo. Sir Mario, kamusta po? Consistent to si Sir Mario. So great to see you again. Happy to see you then, Ma'am Len. And of course, Ma'am muscle gains. Do you believe on this? Do you believe that mental stress, the things that we experience every day from the news, mentally, emotionally, financially, affect our muscle gains? Muscle is a very expensive uh, component of our life. Kasi it takes time to build muscle, tama po ba? At kinakailangan mo feed yan, and it, of course, requires money to feed your body. And you need to put time and energy to exercise and lift weights for you to have muscle gain. So, would this be put into ways if you are stressed? We'll answer that. Again, good evening to you. Sir Noel is a testimony, a living legend that you can build muscle despite of your busy schedule. Good evening din sa iyo, Ma'am Elizabeth Escobar. Good to see you po. All right, so before we start, if you don't have the ebook yet about the muscle gains, the workout, meron po tayong free ebook. And then if you have received that, and then maybe, just maybe, somebody needs that ebook, you may want to send that to the person. Sharing is caring, tama ba? And then for those who have not received the low carb and fasting ebook, that might be an option that you want to consider. Share this live talk and then message me directly. Now, if you find value in this live talk, I'll appreciate it if you share this because we believe in the campaign Make Philippines Healthy. And the best way to make Philippines healthy is to spread the message. Magtulungan po tayo. Babangon po ang Pilipinas through right information. Alright, sige. Does mental stress affect your muscle gains? Yes or no? Let me know in the comment section if you're tuning in live. Type in your response, and then if you are tuning in sa recorded natin, again, nakita ko kahapon may mga nag-respond pa sa recorded natin, and then may mga questions pa sila. Apologies po, hindi ko ma-check. I don't have yet the luxury of time to respond to each of your questions, but rest assured, I will find time to see and to listen to what you have written there sa comment section. Now, I will show to you some pictures. Konting workshop lang to, konting activity. And then let me know what you will feel after I've shown you these pictures. Okay. Ano yun? Okay. What do you feel about this picture? Pictures of war, disaster, poverty. What do you feel about this picture? A beggar asking for help. Okay. Now, with these pictures that I've shown to you, what do you feel? Sabi ni Ma'am Cabs, sad. Sabi ni Ma'am Kathleen, sad din siya for Ukraine. Now, di ba, I've just shown to you the pictures. And then, yes, si Ma'am Elizabeth, sad din. Keep it rolling. Okay. Now, as for the pictures that I've shown to you, di ba, no one touches you, no one hurt you. Even though we are having this discussion online and virtually, you are affected. Chaos. And Sir Noel is working in the ground to defend our country, and he knows exactly what these people feel. We feel sad, even though this things happening outside of us, away from us. And that is an example of stress. We are affected emotionally. And some of you felt your heartbeat, beat faster. And some of you frown yung tawag dito, yung kilay. Okay? Nagsampok kung sa ilingay noon pa. Diba? No one forces you, but you are affected. That is exactly what we have feel here dito sa slide natin. There is this burden on top of our heads, not concrete, but it affects us almost all aspect of our life. And that is stress. Yung stress is the fight or flight hormone. This is the feeling that will enable you to fight for your loved one, even though mas malaki sa loved one mo, si kalaban mo. And this is also the hormone that will make you flight or tumakbo sa mga problema mo sa buhay. Fight or flight. But this is the thing. Again, the stress hormone, okay, let's call it stress hormone. Sometimes in some areas of our life, it's beneficial. Say, for example, exercise. Without that stress hormone, the adrenaline gland that is being released to enable you to lift weights, okay, so that's good. But the problem is this: if it is activated for so long, it affects our body. Tama po ba? Our entire life. I have a question for you. Simple question lang. What happens to you personally, no, when you are stressed? Let's down the feeling. What happens to you when you are stressed? Let me start by saying, when I'm stressed, I I usually oversleep. Nag-oversleep po ako. How about you? What happens when you're depressed, when you're anxious? Let's be open na. And I think, sabi nila, being vulnerable is courageous. Kasi you're open to show the not so strong side of you. What happens? What are the, kumbaga, specific thing that usually happen to you? How do you respond with stress? Okay. Let me know in the comment section. Okay, sabi ni Sir Mario, overeating. I can relate with that. Okay, that's why we call it comfort food or stress eating, right? Si Ma'am Cab, sabi niya, when I'm stressed, low energy. Tama po, 100%. I've felt that as well many times. Ma'am Elizabeth says, I cannot focus. Of course, mental energy natin is being disrupted. Yung cravings are affected, sabi ni Sir Noel. Now, that is true. And to tell you bluntly, stress affects all areas of our life. Di ba? Actually, di ba, when you're stressed, what happens usually? Your sleep is disrupted. That's correct, Ma'am Kathleen. Di ba? Di masarap tulog mo when you're stressed. Tama? Hindi din masarap yung appetite mo when you're stressed. I have a client na hindi daw siya maka-progressive overload or makalagdag ng intensity sa workout nung stress siya. Kaya I have a client din na kakagaling lang sa breakup, hindi siya makalift ng weights, yung usual na weights niya for bench press because he is stressed. And that's correct, Coach Aljun. Pag stress ako, umaatake si anxiety. So trigger siya. And even though may mga small thing na small triggers sa stress, it can lead to some dangerous na state. Of course, depression is one. And of course, almost everything, your socialization, how you interact with people, 'di ba? Ito yung napakalungkot, 'di ba? We are so stressed at work and then that stress is being brought at home. Yung uh, pinapapaupukan natin ng galit, okay, is yung mga family natin, yung loved ones natin. Our social life is being affected, right? And even our decisions in life. So to answer the question, the topic is, can mental stress affect your muscle gains? Absolutely yes. Yes na yes. I last Wednesday, I had this problem with my parang water purifier system kasi may mga kulang. So bumili ako dito sa mga stores para hanapin yon. So medyo palipat-lipat. Medyo stressful siya. And then I waited for the technician yun sa water purifier para matapos. So I waited for almost 4 hours. Nung umuwi na ako dito sa unit, na-feel ko super stress na ako talaga. At hindi ko na talaga kaya mag-workout. So, ang ginawa ko, nag-walking-walking lang ako for few minutes na. That's it. Affected yung muscle, yung gains ko, yung strength ko. Now, if we want to go scientific about it, let's dive with it. But before that, hello, Rizali. Possibly, okay. Ito may question si Ma'am Rizali. Answer natin to mamaya. Lethargic, sabi ni Claire, at saka isolation. That is true. Isolation. Now, if we want to go deeper sa reason why muscle or mental stress affect our muscle gains, wait, okay. We have this. We have these hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, norepinephrine. These hormones, okay, are produced by your adrenaline gland and it's very important with our liquid uh, regulation, neuro functions, yung how our brain functions, the uh, yung sa beating ng heart natin, it is usually affected by these hormones. Yung nangyayari ganito. So for example, kunwari sa heart natin. 'Di ba when you are stressed, what happens with our heart? 'Di ba it beats faster. Okay? If you're too excited, it beats faster. When you sense that there is danger coming to you, anong ginagawa mo, 'di ba? Involuntarily yung heart natin nagbi-beat. Hypertension. It may lead to hypertension to prolong na irregular beating with our heart. That's why we have this what we call hypertension. It's connected with stress. I'm not sure if you are familiar with the book of Caroline Leaf, Dr. Caroline Leaf. She has a book, ang tawag sa book na is Who Switched Off My Brain. Search mo sa internet, very popular siya, very respected siya na doctor sa US. And even in the world kasi, yung field of expertise niya is brain functions. So, when it comes sa experts sa brain studies, si Caroline Leaf is world-renowned. Sikat po siya. Sabi niya yun sa book niya na Who Switched Off My Brain, 78% of all the diseases daw are directly related to how we think. Imagine that, 78% of all diseases are directly linked to how we think. And what she means by that is how we deal with stress. Okay, it is affected yung system natin because of this. And not only that, meron tayong gut health. Okay. What is the primary reason why we have gut issues? Most of the time, because of stress. Why? Let me explain to you why. Ang nangyayari po, kapag stress tayo, yung brain natin is the first organ that will sense yung stress. Kapag nag-sense yung stress, it activates po yung tinatawag na nerve function natin. Yung nerve function natin, di ba malawak siya? Merong nerve function din for our intestinal connection. Tawag dun po is intestinal nerve connection. Ano pong nasa intestinal nervous system natin? Yung gut health natin, yung digestive system natin, yung uh, yung feeling natin na acid reflux, dun po lahat nangyayari. So, anong nangyayari po kapag stress tayo? Yung gut dito po is being affected, okay, by our brain, which is triggered by stress. So, yung may rhythm po yung gut natin. Kung sa ano pa, kung sa rhythm pa, parang kanta siya. Okay, meron po siyang rhythm na sinusunod. Now, if you are stressed, nagko-contract po siya. Yung function niya, yung rhythm niya is being disturbed. So what will happen if na-disturb yung natural rhythm ng gut natin? Irritable bowel movement. Okay? We have concern with gut sensitivity or GERD. Meron din po tayo na feeling of heartburn. And of course, the changes po in bad bacteria, yung gut bacteria natin, digestive, that's why we are bloated, especially when we are stressed. It is being triggered by stress. Now, if that is not enough, okay, let's talk about waistline. Does mental stress or emotional stress affect your muscle gains, or does it increase your fat? The answer is yes. Kasi nangyayari ganito. When you're stressed, your body produces cortisol. Di ba cortisol is the stress hormone? If you are stressed, what usually happens? Yung appetite natin nag-increase, tama ba? Kanina sabi ni Sir Mario, overeating. Tama po yan. I also feel that way. Kapag super stress, yung brain mo po, you cannot stop it sometimes. It craves for something na energy dense na mga meals. Ano po ang mga energy dense or calorie dense na mga meals? We have ice cream. Tama? We have burgers. We have pizza. Tinatawag natin siya na comfort food. Tama ho ba? Kasi yung brain natin is exhausted. Akalain mo yung brain natin is maliit lang siya compared to other organs. But it is very costly when it comes to energy. Most of our energy po are being consumed and used by our brain. That's why when you are exhausted emotionally, you will crave for something sweet, for comfort food. Tama ho ba? And that is not enough. Ang nangyayari po, kapag if it is too much yung cortisol level, it builds up yung body fat natin up to the point that yung vessel fat natin, yung deep belly fat, ang magko-cover sa organs nyo. So, di ba may belly fat, may body fat tayo sa surface natin usually. Yung sa ilalim, yung deep belly fat, that's what we call visceral fat. Dito sa chan, that's one of the signs. Many po yung signs natin. Sometimes it's not measured by how you touch kapag matigas or hindi. But one of the signs is matigas na dito sa chan. So be careful with visceral fat. Okay. Now, to answer the question, what hormones do you need to gain muscle? Okay. So, tanong natin dito sa live audience natin. What do you think is the hormones that you need? Top 2 lang na hormones that you need to build muscle. Okay. Konting review. I mentioned this last time na eh. Okay, review sino kaya na nakikinig dito. What are the primary hormones that you need if you want to build muscle? Sige, tanungin natin. Surrender. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. What primary hormones do you need to gain muscle? Number one, growth hormone. Number two, IGF-1. Yung growth hormone po, ito po yung primary function niya. It increased the size of our muscle cells, yung muscle mass natin. If yung growth hormone natin is mataas, mataas din po yung muscle mass natin. And did you know that growth hormone is also connected with aging? Meaning, kapag mataas growth hormone, you can combat or you can reverse aging. Yung IGF-1 factor, yung primary function niya po, uh, it helps you with fat burning. So meaning, if hindi ka kumakain, yung IGF-1 is being activated to burn the excess fat. Now, paano po siya ma-increase? Yung primary po na way to increase this two is through sleep and nutrition. Sleep at saka nutrition. That's why I mentioned yesterday that the process of muscle building, two ways yan. Tearing down or tearing down the muscle fibers, okay, through workout, and then recovery, restoration. So that is possible through nutrition at saka rest and recovery. Now, let's talk about the practical ways. You should ask yourself, what is your focus? Okay. What is your focus? By the way, when we talk about muscle gains, we're not just talking about physique or six packs or being photogenic sa summer buds. Hindi lang po yan. Muscle po, unfortunately, is underrated. Underrated siya kasi ang pinaputray po sa karamihan, kapag may muscle ka, vain ka. Or kapag mataas yung muscle mo, wala kang ginagawa sa buhay, kundi magbuhat lang ng magbuhat. But actually, these people are the people who put time, money, and effort to the things that matter in life. Imagine ninyo, yung muscle is the largest organ. Skeletal muscle is the largest organ. Yet, it is the most neglected. Tama ho ba? Kung sa investments pa, if you have 10 million and you have diversified your investment, and around 60 to 70% nilagay mo sa, kunwari nilagay mo sa, ano ba, Starbucks. Okay, nag-invest sa Starbucks. Kunwari lang ha, so let's claim it. Kaya yan. Should you put your mind and effort to Starbucks kasi malaking investment mo dyan? Yes, you should diversify and make an equal effort to balance all your investments. But since 60 to 70% nagpumunta sa Starbucks, yung muscle po, the same thing. Muscle po is the largest organ. Ito po yung mataas na return of investment. Make sense po ba? That's why it's called the organ of longevity. If mataas po yung muscle size mo, muscle mass mo, there is a link between muscle mass at saka aging. I hope I make myself clear. Now, what are the practical ways that you can do? Again, stress, bluntly speaking, it's part of our humanity. Meaning, you cannot avoid stress. Tama ho ba? Every day you are being exposed to stress. The moment you wake up, punta ka po sa Facebook, ano pong karamihan na nagte-trending? Yung mga bad news. Kasi if it's not bad news, it's not news. Yung mga news na bad, okay, ito po yung mga nag-attract ng majority ng people. That is why you cannot blame daw yung news media outlet kasi that's their way of living. Kapag yung sinushow nila is puro lang good news, wala pong manonood sa kanila. But kapag puro bad news, most of the time they will be trending. Tama? So, since we cannot avoid stress, there are things that we can control. And that's good news. Did you know that despite that stress is part of our humanity, there are ways you can control your life? So we talk about this, the chair, yung upuan, and imagine this as your life. Kapag kulang yung paa, anong mangyayari? Kapag isa lang dito yung paa, ano mangyayari? Unstable, correct? Kapag dalawang nawala, tumba. Tama po ba? Much more if you remove the third na leg at saka yung fourth na leg. Wala na po yan. So yung four legs represents the exercise, number one, attitude, rest, at saka nutrition. Four of them. Wala po dapat na maiwan. Lahat po sila dapat pagtuunan ng pansin. Exercise, attitude, rest, and nutrition. For easy recall, we call it EARN. EARN. Okay? So exercise. Let's talk about exercise. I think the most effective way to combat stress is, for me, and it's proven as well by science, is exercise. Because it's very doable right away. Especially if you are stressed right now, you can just walk right away. Go outside and it's free. Almost automatic you can do this. Tama ho ba? And then as for exercise, not that I uh, force you to go to the gym because sometimes it's impossible because of your lifestyle, busy ka. So there are options as well. You can go for home workouts. You can also go for uh, walking. That is very, very practical. Have you ever felt na feel nyo na po yan na super stress ka, hindi ka makahinga, at saka lumakad ka lang sa labas, parang gumaan yung feeling mo. Tama ho ba? May mga instances kayo na naranasan na ganun. I've experienced na super stress ako. I think this was, yung remarkable for me is college. Exam week po yun. Parang di ako makahinga kasi maraming mga paperworks both sa student government kasi may extracurricular activities tayo at saka sa school exam week siya. Parang hindi ako makahinga. Ang ginawa ko, lumakad ako around 10 minutes near po sa, may tinatawag dun sa campus namin na parang Handumanan Park. Maraming trees po doon. Almost automatic pong feeling na gumaan yung feeling ko. That is why. Kasi yung cortisol level mo, nag-lower down siya because you are relaxed. Okay? Now, I would also suggest na stay closer sa nature. That's why the best time to walk is morning kasi merong sun. And the best thing about sun, it will give you vitamin D. Diba? D3, very, very important. And exposure to sun will help you with melatonin levels. Okay? Yung hormone na kailangan natin for deep sleep. Okay? Exercise. Prioritize exercise. Yung mga students at clients ko, I would recommend to them that they have to walk 10 minutes after their meal. 10 minutes. 10-minute walk after their meal. So you may want to try that. Of course, A stands for attitude. Now, with the current pacing of our life, okay, yung attitude is being disrupted. When you look in all corners of your life, you would see stress. So this is my recommendation. As for stress, you have to remove the people that gives you stress. What do you mean by that? I'm not saying you unfriend your friends at saka mga negative. You have to ask yourself, anong level lang ng negativity ang you're willing to absorb? Okay? If you're willing to absorb it, go for it. But deep inside of you, you might be affected, tama? So ask yourself, what level of stress am I willing to absorb lang? So by asking that, you might ask, watching this news, ganitong account sa social media sa Facebook, yung parating na nababasa ko dito puro nega lang. So remove mo siya. Kasi honestly hindi mo kaya na mag-expose sa gano'ng klaseng toxicity, tama ho ba? So for example, may ang ginawa ko, meron kasi akong kilala sa Facebook na parati siya nagra-rant sa Facebook. Every time I open my Facebook, hindi naman kami nagme-message, pero most of the time, mga first scroll ko pa lang, nandun na yung post niya na puro rant. So, okay lang, first, second try. Nung mga paulit-ulit na, sabi ko sa sarili ko, hindi na to, it's not helping me. So, ang ginawa ko, in-unfollow ko lang. Unfollow is different from unfriend kasi yung unfriend, malalaman niya na hindi na kayo friends. Yung unfollow, at least, friend pa din kayo, pero hindi mo na makikita yung post niya. Oh, trick yun life hack yun. Okay. Now, people are either minus or positive to your life. A plus or minus to your life. Okay. So, before you ask that, no, sino yung mga tao na plus or minus sa life mo? You have to ask that to yourself personally. Are you a plus or a minus to someone's life? Tama ho ba? So, the most practical is social media. Okay, so, social media, as much as possible, limit. Okay, or uh, populate your mind with things that uplift you. Ano po yan? Ginagawa ko po kapag, kasi yung negativity parang kumakatok yan po sa utak natin. Okay, imaginein nyo po yung toxic negativity, kumakatok po yan. Especially if you're not aware, dyan po kumakatok. At saka minsan may mga times, pansin nyo din na hindi mo malaman, you feel bad about it, your energy is so low. Kasi yung stress, spontaneously, at saka pursuing us. Okay? It's knocking in our minds. So the best approach that or practice that worked with me is yung journal at saka meditation. So I'm sure some of you already know I'm a believer and I trust my faith in Jesus. And in knowing that my ultimate problem, which is death and sin, have been solved already 2,000 years ago. That's why I can rest unto His promises. Now, even though ang day ko is super bad, He will save me. And He will always be. That's why He's called Savior. So that worked with me. I'm not sure about you. You have religious practices that you think may work for you. Despite of our religious differences, go for it. If that may help you feel good and will help you restore your body and then your immune system, go for it. All right. Rest are for rest. So, yung tinatawag natin na rest is not just about sleeping. Kasi there are people, and of course, it doesn't guarantee that you sleep 7 hours, 8 hours a day. It will give you full-blown recovery. Not at all. Some of us are experiencing disrupted sleep. Okay, even though we sleep abundantly or 6, 7, 8 hours. Okay, so the key components that we can do with sleep is this: caffeine, limit your caffeine. Okay, dim lights as much as possible, meaning no gadgets 2 hours before you sleep. And with the setup that we have right now, sometimes it's impossible na to mask is an extension of you. Okay, parang cyborg daw tayo kasi lahat ng mga functions natin, like calculator, like reminders, calendar, nandito na ho lahat sa phone natin. So that's why we understand na it's kind of challenging to remove ourselves from phones for a few hours. But it's not impossible. So set up your system na for example, you put your phone outside your bedroom. Okay? Trust me, wala pong tinatawag na, hindi po matatawag na hihinto ang mundo kapag yung phone mo po ay wala sa inyo. The world will still run with busyness and all madness. Tama ho ba? So sleep, recovery, very important din yung sa strength natin sa workout. May mga clients ako na nagtatanong bakit hindi nila mabuhat yung mga na-set na weights nila for that specific day. Kasi yung goal natin is progressive overload, tama ko ba? Yung progressive overload is week by week, you are intentional by adding weight at saka intensity with your lifting. Now, if there are times na hindi mo siya mabubuhat, the first thing that you have to ask is how you sleep. Kasi kapag disrupted ang sleep mo, yung energy is being disrupted din. And that's why it disrupts your muscle gains. Now, speaking of sleep, yung hormones na minention ko kanina, yung IGF-1 at saka yung growth hormone, they are released during your sleep. Imagine that. These two important hormones, IGF-1 at saka yung growth hormone, are being released during your sleep. So if it's released during your sleep, what will you do? Prioritize your sleep. And the best way to prioritize your sleep, of course, remove the distractions. Okay, so I mentioned it earlier. Next, after R, what do we have after R? We have, okay, yung R is nutrition. Hindi siya nag-appear dito. Okay, apologies. For after R is nutrition. So let's talk about nutrition. Okay, nutrition muna tayo. Okay, dito. Yung nutrition with muscle gains at saka yung stress, what are the nutrition that you must prioritize? Number one, protein. Be consistent with your protein, even though you're not stressed. Be consistent with protein. That's it. Number two, we have potassium. Potassium helps you with nerve functions. Yung regulation natin ng nerve function, because stress is a matter of nerve function din eh. So if you want to heal yourself from stress, the best way is to take potassium din. Number two is B1. Okay, meron akong supplement dito na B1, tinitake ko din siya. Very important. Also, we have D3. Okay, D3. You can have D3 sa sun if you're exposed to sun. If you are not exposed to sun, meron D3 is 10,000 IU. Okay, 10,000 IU or 10 nutrition and magnesium. Very, very important. Yung magnesium po is the nutrient that we need to make us feel relaxed. Okay, magnesium. That's my favorite, by the way, when it comes to handling stress, magnesium. And then, ano po ba? So those are the most important nutrition. I'm sure meron pa. Let me know what's your advice or life hack when it comes to stress management. And this is a thing that we cannot escape, but we can fight. Okay, no need to flight, but we should fight it through the right information. Now let's have our Q&A. And of course, before we have our Q&A, please share this content. This may bless others. There are people who are seeking for answers. We hope in this little way of our live discussion, they may have a glimpse. Kahit one word lang na makatch nila from this. Okay? Sige. Share. And then, sige, let's have our discussion Q&A. Baka sa inyo may mga life hacks kayo. I'm sure you have. Let me know here in the comment section. Okay. Sige. Question time na tayo. Na may question dito. Sige, remove ko muna to. Coach, good evening. Possible we gain muscle even di lagi nag-workout but you have enough protein. Enough lang din ang calories at foods. Okay. Now, that's a good question. I also asked this question before I decided to take a serious step sa working out. Yes, because primarily 60 to 70%, even 80% of our body composition is defined by what we eat. So protein is very, very important. Now, when it comes to muscle triggers, ano po yung mga nagtitrigger ng muscle growth? Protein at saka resistance training. So if you want po to maximize muscle gain, go for resistance training. Okay po, ma'am? Sige. Dito, sabi ni Ma'am Leia, magandang gabi po, coach. Tanong ko lang po, okay din uminom ng creatine monohydrate kaming mga babae. Pag napapagod po kasi ako, pakiramdam ko, naghihina ang mga muscle ko sa mga legs ko. 11 na months na po ako nag-low carb, lose 20 kilos. Nagsimula pa lang po ako mag-workout sa bahay lang po. Yes na yes. Despite of your gender, take creatine. Creatine is naturally found in your body. We have it when we take and eat meat. Meron po creatine yung meat. Now, when you lift weights, you need extra pump or energy, tama ho ba? That's why we supplement with creatine monohydrate. That's the recommendation. Monohydrate. No need to go for extra flavorings and everything. Monohydrate creatine, that's the key. Now, if your concern is yung nangihina ka at saka yung gain natin sa muscle is being disrupted, the best way to have it is creatine. I've stated the answer why, and always come back with the reason it's safe. One of the most published scientific based na supplement is creatine. That's why it is recommended. Mami Honey Sweet, napakaganda po ng pangalan nyo. Good evening din po sa inyo. Ma'am Evelyn Divina, as always, great to see you po. What, Mami Honey sabi niya, what kind of exercise po is recommended po that want to tone the body and can still lose weight more? Okay, yung idea po ng toning muscle might be a myth. Okay. You cannot tone your muscle without building your muscle. Wag po kayo matakot mag-lift ng weight at saka mag-increase ng muscle size. Kasi po, iba-iba po yung hormones ng babae sa lalaki. So if that worries you na kumbaga lalaki ka ng bulky, hindi po totoo yan. Now, let's talk about exercise na question ko. Focus on 5 compound exercises, Ma'am Honey Sweet. Squat, deadlift, okay, shoulder press or military press, bench press, at saka yung pull-ups. If you cannot do pull-ups, of course, go for that pull-down. Okay, 5 exercises. Focus on those exercises. Ma'am Benny, good evening po. Great to see you. Yes, set boundaries. That's right. And Ma'am Len says here, Ma'am Spedente, negativity start in the brain. Tama po. That is very, very correct. 5 a.m. po kayo po paakyat yan sa utak at in-entertain mo ang mga niligas at mamalayan. Hindi ko po medyo maintindihan yung mga wording dito, pero I think what you mean is it starts here. That's why we have to protect this one because this dictates how we live. Tama po, Ma'am Len. Ma'am Elvin, good evening po. No worries po. You may want to check the recorded then if you miss some points dito sa live natin. Coach, is it okay if I take melatonin kung hindi makatulog? Yes. Melatonin is helpful for deep sleep. So if you cannot achieve quality sleep, go for melatonin. Pag nagkulang sa tulog sa gabi, pwede bang mabawi during the day? Sa araw, babawi ng tulog. Meron po mga interesting studies about yan na yung group of people were studied na yung mga nag-graveyard shift at saka sobrang ikli lang tulog at saka babawiin nila sa weekend. Okay. At the end of 6-month period, kinumpare sila sa group of people na normal lang yung sleeping pattern. Nakikita doon po based sa results na yung muscle gains nung sa normal na tulog is mataas compared dun sa bumabawi lang. So nothing can compensate a lack of sleep except sleep lang po. Kapag may kulang po or may utang tayo sa sleep din ho yung way para makabawi tayo. But if kulang talaga, especially kapag graveyard shift and everything, go for 10-minute nap po during the day. No need po to go after 10 minutes. Wag mo na po pa more than 10 minutes. Set an alarm clock. Nap 10 minutes during the day. That's okay po. Thank you din, Ma'am Rizali. May pleasure din po, Ma'am Honey Sweet. How often po kayo nag-workout in a week? Now, it depends on your goal. It is recommended to start with 3 times a week. Okay? And as you proceed, as you uh, go, kumbaga, increase with intensity, you may proceed with 4, but it all depends. If you're busy, start with 3. Okay po, ma'am? Ah, sinanay kita sa Tagalog. Gumana nga. Okay. Gumana nga. Sige, dito meron din question. Ano po brand new na magnesium? Tinitake ko po is Nutrilite. Yung Nutrilite has in number 1, it's safe. And number 2, it's very affordable. So that's the brand that I take. That is right, Sir Elvin. Yung sleep natin, may stages po yan. May deep, may light, at saka may REM. Yung REM, ito po yung deep na sleep. Yung, if you look at your, kumaga, if pareho kayo ng bedroom ng, say for example, if you're married, and then at the middle of the night, you are curious lang if you want to check yung deep sleep ng katabi mo, open his or her eyes. Kapag yung mata niya gumaganito, rapid eye movement, REM, meaning deep sleep na po yun. Ito na po yung stage na may mga dreams na tayo, may mga parang attached na tayo sa dream natin, napakalalim na po. So it is the goal most of the sleep experts would recommend to achieve yung cycle for REM. Thank you, Sir Albin. Coach, yan po ang malaki kong problema, lack of good sleep because of stress. I feel you, Ma'am Evelyn, and that is a major concern nowadays, especially in a world of technology, in a fast-paced world. So if this is a concern with you, review mo lang po yung live. I gave po specific steps when it comes sa lack of sleep. Okay? Sige. I think I answered all your questions. Okay. I answered all your questions, and I think before I end this one, you may want to put your questions here, but I'd like to say thank you for believing in this campaign. Stay tuned po because of because of your consistency. We'll post a challenge here in our community, and everyone is invited. We have Make Philippines Healthy campaign, and the people who will win will have prizes. Yung prizes po is limpak na mga kinakailangan nyo po para ma-achieve yung health goals nyo. So please stay tuned po. And then number 2, as for the upcoming events natin, stay tuned din kasi yung Worth the Gun Academy, we want to reach out to more people, but limited yung coaches natin. So the best way to have it is to train more coaches. So our goal is to make Philippines healthy, and we want to train people here in the Philippines. So stay tuned because there are new breeds of coaches din sa Worth the Gun Academy. And you are part of that kasi we are growing na eh. And then if you need a specific guide, a guide with your nutritional plan, a guide with your supplements if you need any, a plan with your food, a plan with your workout, what kind of workout that will fit with your lifestyle at saka your energy at saka yung level mo. We have slots left here in coaching, one-on-one coaching. Direct message me or comment here in the message section. I'll reach out to you. All the best. Thank you din po. Welcome. Ma'am Evelyn, welcome din, Ma'am Cabs, Ma'am Spedente. Great to see you po. Enjoy the rest of the evening and happy lifting and stay lean. Bye-bye.
Three, two, one.